would be
through the
surprised.
gateways of intimacy,
That I
errors, and what we
believe.
rarely tell. It's a reckoning with the real, where breath meets bone, where truth undresses us and gasps seep through the cracks. We're not here to behave. We're here to feel, to experience, to grow and expand.
Welcome to The Funny Kind with Erica Gumany, bringing heart, humor, and hope to everyday life. Laughter and love really do make a difference, and Erica's here to prove it. Part deep dive, part stand up for the soul. This show blends humor, heart, and real talk to help you stop believing the lies that hold you back. Whether she's flying solo or chatting with guests, Erica brings her signature mix of authenticity, wit, and wisdom, reminding you that growth doesn't have to be so serious. So pull up a chair, exhale, and get ready to laugh, reflect, and reconnect with the extraordinary human you already are. Because this is The Funny Kind, where humor meets healing and inspiration meets action.
Well, hello, everyone. So happy to be with you again. You are in for a treat today, and you may notice that I have some bling on for those of you that are watching this, because I had to really bring my zhuzh, if you will, for our guest today. I'm so happy to have Maggie Oplinger from the Florentine Opera with us.
Hello.
Yeah. So excited. Maggie and I met at a networking event a couple years ago now, I think. You were on a panel, and I just kind of like oohed and ahed over you because you were so hilarious, and authentic and funny, and had such good nuggets of wisdom. And I knew at that moment that we have to A, be best friends, and B, have you on this podcast. So I figured I'd start with the podcast, slowly woo you in. I'm going to woo
I like
you.
it. I like it.
Yeah. So Maggie and I had a conversation to prep for this podcast, and we could go in so many different directions, but I think what we're going to do today is going to be surprising, because I don't know about you, but I don't know a lot of people in opera. And I'm a little South Side girl from the Midwest, Wisconsin, not necessarily known for opera, right? But I fell in love with it and love to see performances and learn about it. And Maggie is going to share a lot with us today about some life lessons from the lens of opera. So it's going to be fun. And contrary to the episode picture, we are not going to be singing opera. I'm so sorry.
Although I love the picture very much.
I think it's the best I'm ever going to look. Everything was perky, looking good.
All glowy.
All glowy. Yeah, my face was ironed out real well. Very, very good. So if I may, I would just like to say a little bit about Maggie as the president and CEO, general director and CEO of the Florentine Opera since 2019. And the Florentine Opera is Milwaukee's oldest professional performing arts organization, which I did not know.
Yeah, we are 93 years old this season.
Wow.
No pressure.
No pressure. You better make it awesome.
Right? I know.
So Maggie holds her bachelor's and master's degree in voice performance from McGill University and a graduate diploma in nonprofit business administration from Concordia University. She also serves on the Opera America Board of Directors as a Communications Council co-chair. And Maggie's bio is robust, but we have a short time, so I gotta trim it down. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, that'll be the end of the conversation. Yeah, I know you love all this. But one of the things about your bio that really stood out to me is that in whatever role you've had regarding music and arts and all that is community. Yeah. And that what you do here, what you've done in past roles is really about opening up music in a really approachable way. And that's what I think made me feel a little bit more comfortable approaching opera because of you, because of how you opened it up to me and showed yourself in it. And being a mom, I know how passionate you are about music and art and creativity for youth and how that, works through your work. And I love what the Florentine Opera has on their website, which we'll share the link to that you are on a journey of discovery, exploring the glory of the human voice.
It's true. It is glorious, and it's always a journey. Thank you for your kind words, Erica, because what we what we do is exactly what you just described. You like made my whole day. That's
Yay.
exactly what we want everyone to feel like when they come.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I love how it says that under your leadership, the company presents timeless works with a twist within the context of the community, approaching opera as a powerhouse for different voices and stories. So
There
cool.
you go.
I just
Thank
went to a
you.
concert over the week, or not over the weekend, it was on Monday, doesn't matter, of Brandy Carlisle.
Oh, I wanted to go. Was it amazing?
Oh,
I love her.
oh my gosh, it was such a community and it's so beautiful. And
Mhm.
it ties so well into what we're going to talk about tonight, which is the excellence that is opera. And when you see somebody like Brandy Carlisle, just operating up there, like
Yeah.
it's there's no auto tuning, there's no tracks. It's just and she talks about how hard she's worked and how hard her band worked. And it reminded me of the conversation that I had with your musical director, and Francisco, how do you say his last name?
Francesco Miliotto.
Francesco Miliotto. I don't know why I have to do that, but I did.
He'd appreciate it.
Okay, good. Make sure. Yeah, he's probably going to be famous because I just said his name.
There you go. You've launched his career.
Yeah, but I had the pleasure of meeting him when a friend took me to an event that I got to sit next to him, and I asked him some awkward question, surely, about like, are you nervous? Or I don't know what silly question I said. And he was so confident. And he was like, I know this material better than anybody. And I was like, all right. And it wasn't like cocky. It was like he was operating in excellence. So tell us a little bit more about that and kind of that idea of excellence and what you shared with me about opera and how, I don't want to say competitive, but just the level of expertise that it is.
It is competitive. I mean, I'll start with Francesco. I laugh because I've known him for a really long time. I think we're close to 30 years now. And I knew him when he was learning all of his scores for the first time. And the hours of time that he put in listening, conducting, reading the scores, marking his scores, he really does know his music inside and out, and he knows it so well. And he takes such pride in that depth of knowledge. And as musicians, I think in general, to get on stage and present something that you've learned and loved takes this enormous amount of humility
Mm.
and preparation and ability to just accept what's coming, because stuff happens on stage. You can never account for everything, and that's part of the beauty of live performance. And
Mhm.
sometimes the beauty of live performance is tripping on your skirt or things falling in the pit, which is like the worst. Um, but I think, we talk about being competitive. To step onto an opera stage, just like Francesco, everyone up there has studied for decades. I mean,
Mm.
this is not a short-term activity. And we had talked about how competitive it is. Our studio artist program, the Baumgartner Studio Artist Program, which we are so proud of, gets about 600 applicants every year.
Wow.
And I was curious because when we were talking, I couldn't remember the stat off the top of my head. It is actually harder to get into a program like that than it is to get into Harvard or Yale. Our acceptance rate is about 3%. And that's kind of the studio artist programs nationally. Some of them are even lower.
Wow.
So when you think about the number of people going to, and people probably don't, going to university for opera as a major or doing opera while doing a different degree, which does happen with less frequency, and then doing your master's, and for some of them doing a graduate diploma, which is kind of in addition to your master's, not quite a doctorate, to then try to get into one of these programs, which is a next big stepping stone, is still so hard. So these people who are taking part in these development programs are so skilled, they are so talented, and they work so hard. And I think that's the part we can lose sight of,
Mm.
is it's not as easy as they make it look, right? That's the whole point. And
Wow.
the job is to make it look easy. We just had a performance with Zach Nelson and Michael Benworth, and they did a phenomenal job. And I actually said that to the audience at the end of the performance. I said, really wonderful artists make really difficult things look easy. and that's what they did.
Wow.
And that's something I think you can do not just in music, but it's something we have to hone to a fine point, you know?
Mm, yeah. I've really been thinking a lot about this idea of excellence and how there's a difference between, I had this thought today. Tell me if this is vibing. Like there's a difference between excellence and hustling.
Yes,
And you know
there
what I
is.
mean?
I
Like,
really do. I'm thinking of one of my kids, and I will not name them. Big hustler, big hustler, low output. I think hustling. And that is no shame on the hustlers because I think we use that today to talk about the people who are working multiple jobs to pay for their passion or to pay for their education, and that's just what we have to do today because the world's
mhm.
a tough place. I do not throw shade in that regard, but when I hear that, we had also talked about excellence versus perfection.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
excellence is a zone. And I would actually put a strong brick wall between hustle and excellence because if you're hustling and really efficient, you're pushing into that excellence and you're making it happen. If you're
Mhm.
hustling and you're inefficient, you're treading water. You're not going anywhere. And
Mm.
that exists in every field too. That exists as kids, it exists as adults. And the sense of striving for perfection, I think, can freeze all of us in our footsteps. And if you do that on a stage and you get all caught up in listening to yourself, I had a teacher in Montreal who would say, if you're listening, who's singing? And she was this very gruff
Mm.
woman, and I adored her very much. But that kind of stuck in my head because it's true. If you're so busy paying attention to how you're being received, you're not actually creating and being and doing what you are and what you can do.
Ugh.
Excellence doesn't mean flawless. It doesn't mean not a single hair out of place, right? Like
Yeah.
excellence means you moved people. It means you sang a tricky passage that you've never been able to conquer before. It means you saved a coworker on stage, one of your castmates who dropped a critical prop or needed something on a table behind them and couldn't find it, and you made it part of the story. Those are all excellent, and
Mm.
many of them aren't planned. So as we go through the world, I think that's part of how I look at it. It's like finding that flexibility of leaning into excellence, but not trying for perfection.
Oh
And if
my
you're hustling,
gosh.
great, yes. Like I think we could all use a little bit of that, but
Yeah.
that's the magic place.
Oh, I love that. So many quotables you just gave right there. You've become reelable, like
Ooh, ooh.
REEL. I just made that up just now in this live. I love the idea of flexibility. I love something, not to talk about Brandy Carlisle again, but too late. She had an opening act called I'm With Her, a
Okay.
trio, beautiful harmonies.
I will be
And then,
looking them up immediately following.
oh my gosh, so good. And they came up and sang a Coat of Many Colors with her,
Oh,
ironically, um, the day before Dolly passed away.
mm.
So I was like, oh my gosh, it was so amazing, so beautiful. It was like, I felt like once it came out that she had passed, I was like, wow, it was like she was ushering her into heaven, singing this
Oh,
song. These four women singing the song. Oh my gosh. Anyways, Brandy was saying how she was complimenting these three women with such authenticity, not like reading a bio. It was like these three women challenge me. She said, they scare me.
ooh, I love that.
I know because they're so good. And she said they're so precise. And I was like, I wish Maggie was with me right now because it's what we were talking about. Like when you are operating in excellence, other excellent people inspire you. You don't
Yeah.
want to destroy them.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's true about like even the repertoire. So I'm thinking of a moment when I worked at the symphony. One of my favorite things I did there was running the salons. And so these incredible, world performers would be in someone's living room warming up on the piano. And I started as a pianist, and I'm a solid pianist. I am probably not even that anymore. I was never like phenomenal. I was just very good. And at a certain point, very good isn't going to cut it. Um, And I was obsessed with this Rachmaninoff piece. And I was doing a salon, and Joyce Yang, who is hilarious, like she's Brandy Carlisle level cool. I want to have dinner with her.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Pianist was warming up, and she started playing this piece, and I almost fell over. And she, I think, used it as her encore. And she turned around on the piano. And this is kind of what I believe music should be. She turned around on the piano bench and looked at the crowd of like 60 to 80 people and goes, "This is one of my favorite pieces, and it scares the crap out of me." And I was just dumbfounded because here's this woman who's one of the greatest pianists in the world, who you feel like can probably play everything with her eyes closed and has probably practiced everything until it's perfect, right?
Mm.
And here is this woman looking at a room full of people and saying, "I'm terrified to play this." I think it was her first time playing it for an audience. And I was stunned by that because I thought, okay, even you have these moments of like, shoulds, it should sound like this. I should be able to do it this way,
Wow.
where
What is a salon? Because when you said that, I'm like, are they getting their hair done?
no, a salon is a performance in a more private space. And that's actually where a lot of music came from back in the day. So people would gather around and they'd sing arias to each other. They'd play pieces on the piano. They'd just gather and make music together, make music for each other.
Oh,
And I love that. Our summer series and our aria extravaganza is kind of like that, where we gather in a smaller space and our artists choose the rep. But what I love about it is it has an intimacy to it, and our art form
mhm.
is so big that finding that intimacy, I think, is really exciting. And, I'd started by talking about the humility of the artist, doing it so close to your audience, performing where they can see every twitch of your
Mm,
face, they'll hear every little slip of a note, right?
yeah.
Um, it takes a trust with your audience that I think is really critical.
Mm,
And when we're talking about that sense of aiming for perfection, every professional artist, whether they want to or not, is aiming for perfection. And
mhm.
so being so exposed, I think, is a real gift to the audience and a real challenge for the artist. And if we do it right, everyone has a great time.
Wow.
And I want to go back to a comment you made, Erica, at the beginning about how you weren't sure opera was for you and then you fell in love with it. I discovered opera at the Florentine as a high schooler, and it felt so perfect to me. Like, I
Mm,
still remember walking into the theater, being blown away, having never seen anything like that or even known it existed
mm.
as a high school singer, which is just a different kind of singing. And I didn't hear a single flaw in any moment of that performance. And I am sure every artist on that stage walked off and was like, "Oh, that high C was a little thin," or "Oh, I forgot that one word. I hope the audience didn't notice." And I think, looking at it through those fresh eyes, and half of our audience at every show is new. So you are surrounded by fresh eyes and ears.
Mhm.
I think we would all, and I think we would all have more fun and give ourselves more grace if we remembered that it's not that the whole world is watching and waiting for you to make a mistake,
Oh,
right?
wow.
Like we're all there to have an experience. In opera, we're building that as a team of like
Mm.
200 people sometimes or more. There's no audience member, okay, maybe there's one, who's sitting there and is like, "That was a fifth
Ellen.
note, not a 16th note," right? So, like performance in a small space or a big space, I think it's easier in my seat now than it was when I was performing to be aware of that and to
Mhm.
recognize that everyone wants to be lost in the experience. They want to like live in the set and the party they see on stage. They want to have that high note live forever, and they don't care if it's almost perfect and it's not
Right. They
quite
wouldn't even
perfect.
know. Yeah. And I love what you said, how the audience isn't hoping that you make a mistake. They're rooting for you.
Yeah.
They're with you. They want
Yeah.
you and I feel like when you're lost in that, like when you like witness somebody who's absolutely in their call, in their aligned gift, and you
Yeah.
see them just enjoy it, it's so inspiring. It's like, I want that.
Yes. I
It's
totally agree
so
with you.
cool.
Yeah. And
And
you
I
can,
feel like opera people, like, oh my gosh, it's like like you when you said they make it look easy, it's like I it it's just I don't even understand how they do it, you know? It's so cool to watch. And if I saw them on the street, they're just regular people. They're not
They're
walking.
just regular people.
I'd like
Yeah.
some oysters, please. They're just regular. I don't know why oysters. I don't know.
No, but I do. I think people picture opera singers as being super fancy, and it's true on stage a lot of times we're in ball gowns or whatever. But
Yeah.
when I was starting this job, I was kind of nervous because it was way more visible than the work I've done before. And I was like, all right, what am I going to do to be comfortable on stage as myself? And I got some custom Chucks. I have two pairs of them. One of them is covered in sparkles, and one of them is gold, and they say opera in cursive on the back. Because I'm like, that makes them fancy.
I love
And
this.
I wear them with whatever else I've got on because it's very me. I love sneakers. And I also know there's probably someone out there wearing sneakers who is like, am I okay? Should I have worn these? Did I need to dress up? When am I clapping? Does everyone else here know what they're doing? Right? That moment of discomfort. And like anytime you push yourself or try something new, it's awkward. That's just the nature of new.
Mm.
And I'm like, if I can get up there and be comfortable and make somebody else in the audience comfortable, then again, we're doing it right,
Oh
right?
my
This
gosh.
is performance, whether it's Brandy Carlisle or opera, is about connection. It's about,
Yes.
the reality of in the moment performance and communicating a story and the emotions and receiving them as an audience member. We actually on stage feel audience energy. And we talk about like a good audience and a bad audience. A bad audience isn't bad people. They're just not, they're not in it with you. And
Mm.
so I think to me, perfection is the performances where the audience is waiting to breathe with the singer, or they don't, that moment where you don't clap when something really beautiful ends and nobody
Mm.
wants it to end. And so there's that
Mm.
one little microsecond where you don't clap. It's like
Mm.
my favorite thing in any performance is that just that moment of like, none of us want to let it go,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Um,
I love how I would have made an assumption of people who operate at such a high level that there's a pretense. There's a look at me, I'm elite. And you are like, no, this is us. We are
yeah,
experiencing this together, and it's better when we're vibing together. And you're
yeah,
welcome here.
yes,
That's
all the
so
time.
awesome. So I want to dig more into what we had talked about. I love when you said striving for excellence. It's not perfection. Um, Talk a little bit about when things don't go right.
Yeah, there's always something that doesn't go
I'm sure
right.
that's never happened. No,
Never happened. Nope.
never. Yeah.
We actually had a real dumpster fire one time and almost had to empty the theater. And my whole team, we were so like shocked that that was even a thing that we started laughing. The show went on, and that's the beauty of it too, is the show will go on. The curtain will
Mm.
go up on opening night, and you will present something. And sometimes that's easy and smooth, and sometimes it's super complicated. Sometimes a singer gets sick. Sometimes a piece of the set breaks. You just don't know, and you have to make it work. And I think we had talked about something I did with my kids. We went on a trip, our first international trip as a family, and I've got 5 kids, so that's a big endeavor. And it was a horrible start. We were flying out of Chicago. We got hit with major weather, 23 hours of delay, and not like a come back tomorrow, but every 2 hours. They moved it all night long.
Torture, torture.
And on the ride to Chicago, I had looked at my kids and I'm like, I should say something meaningful to set the trip off on the right tone, very pompous.
Right.
And so I looked at him and I'm like, guys, when we travel with flexibility, curiosity, and kindness. And I use that a lot at work too, because
Mhm.
in those moments where stuff goes wrong, those are the things you need as ingredients to figure it out and move forward. And they were all kind of like, yeah, okay, whatever. And somewhere like 7 hours into our Chicago layover, one of the kids looked at me and was like, this is the flexibility and kindness part, right? And I was like, oh, because in that moment, I had none of those things. I was
Right.
not flexible. I was not kind, certainly
Right.
not curious, other
Yeah.
than why they were destroying my life. And it's this again, it's like whether it's my family in an airport or us building these incredibly complex shows where, we did a show, and I will not tell you which one, last season, where we never got the chandelier for the set.
Mm.
Never came. Flew in the day after that we closed. And my team and I were tearing out our hair, and I finally said, no one's going to notice. And they didn't, because they
course.
don't know it's supposed to be there.
Yeah.
And they're seeing a phenomenal show, and it was.
Hmm.
And it's the same, right? My trip to Europe was great. It did not
Yeah.
get wrecked because of our delay, and our show didn't get wrecked because of the chandelier.
Oh.
So
Can I
you
quote
just,
what you had said in the story that you shared with
sure.
me when we were prepping? What could have been a moment of destruction became the birth of something new.
And it did. I mean, I remember saying that, and my kids became travelers, not in Europe in museums, but going into a giant layover that we did not expect and doing it with grace.
Mm.
Because that's just as important for a traveler is you're going to have all these moments. Your train's going to break down. Your hotel's going to screw up your room. Like, being able to roll with that and move on is what allows you to then really enjoy the amazing experiences you have that you were planning on or that were surprises. Because if you stay grumpy about the problems the whole way through, you're ruining your own trip, you
Wow.
know?
I mean, that like insert or take out travel and put in life.
100%.
Wow. It's like so excellence over perfection. And I think something else is like being around like excellence brings excellence.
Yeah.
Oh, and grace, or what'd you say? Confidence or curiosity, flexibility, and kindness.
There you
Curiosity,
go.
flexibility, and kindness.
I swear those three things will get you through almost anything in the entire world.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
You
Versus,
can
yeah,
remind
like
me I
instead of
say that.
curious, my way or the highway, like,
I've tried
flexibility,
that too. That one doesn't work as well.
right? And I would think, especially in a performance where you are with a group of people,
Yeah.
you drop
Yeah.
something, that's your job.
Yeah, that does not work. And we
Yeah.
don't do that in my house either. That's not mine. I'm like, nope, life doesn't work that way. It's not that
Mhm.
tidy. We got to
Oh, I
be there
love
for
it.
each other.
Community in your own home.
There you
Mm. Well, Maggie, I am so grateful. We could talk for hours. We could. Someday I'm going to be on the stage with you, not
go.
singing, but I'll be in the back doing something.
I love
Maybe I'll
it.
just like look at how good I do this. Watch, ready?
Perfect. Just held it.
I just it's like you were there. It's like I
Love it.
brought you in. I mean, you're
I'm
welcome.
feeling it. I'm being a good audience. There you
Oh my
go.
gosh, we're together. I can feel the connection.
Absolutely.
Oh, well, thank you for taking the time. Thank you for what you're doing for our community. Thank you for bringing this artistry into the space and opening it up to us and making it accessible to us so that we can see um, these beautiful pieces and we can feel your love and energy. You are making such a difference as in
Thank
your
you.
role and as a mom. So
I
thank you
appreciate
for
that very
creating
much.
kind, flexible, and curious babies who will be our leaders someday. No pressure.
Thank you for having me, Erica. It's wonderful talking with you.
Oh my gosh, for sure. All right, guys. Well, go to the opera, okay? And if you want, I can borrow you this jacket, but go to the opera. It's amazing. So we'll see you on the next episode of The Funny Kind. Thank you so much.
Thanks for tuning in to The Funny Kind with Erica Gumany, where humor meets healing and inspiration meets action. If this episode made you laugh, think, or become inspired, be sure to like, share, and tell a friend who could use a dose of heart and humor today. And don't forget to tune in to The Funny Kind, right here on Transformation Talk Radio for more real talk, big laughs, and light bulb moments. Want to connect with Erica and learn more about turning your pivotal moments into powerful growth? Visit yourpivotalpoint.com. Until next time, keep laughing, keep loving, and keep spreading a little bit of funny and a whole lot of kind.